just doing a trade with him when I last
Oh, were you?
done this, yeah, for a Puma,
Oh, the
knife.
German one?
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's that sort of buck 90, buck 110 look. It's a bit smaller than a buck 110.
Very nice.
There's a green handle on it and looks
Excellent.
nice. He said it's in lovely nick, it's not been used. So.
Well, he's listening to you now because
All
we're
right.
live.
Hello, everybody. It's wee Paddy and Judd here. I'm so sorry we're late. We were trying to do some technical stuff, and Justin's not as bright as I thought he was.
No, apparently not. I'm not getting my usual consultancy fee tonight, that's for sure.
So, to be honest with you, this is just going to be a throw together. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about, but Justin has something to kick us off. And I don't really know what he wants to talk about, but he did say, can you remember the knives that you bought in the last 3 months? Because I just want to see how real the madness is. So I pulled out what ones I can remember that I bought in the last 3 months. So we're going to do something along that lines. Not sure what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it should. I mean, it should eat it up a wee bit of time.
Yeah. And if you've got knives you bought in the last 3 months and you want to put them up there, we can certainly. What's your favorite knife you bought in the last 3 months? And it gives everybody a chance of getting one knife up.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, put it down in the description, anything you've got. So what do you want me to do?
Well, the rationale was, Stephen, that it's the first quarter of the year going. Okay, we've done January, February, March. We're coming up to the end of March already, and it's almost take stock and to figure out, are we out of control? And the real reason I want to do that is because I honestly think that I am out of control, and I really want some reassurance that I am not alone in my madness. Okay?
There's a whole section over there that'll back you up.
I'm
You're in
sure
control.
But if you cast your mind back to January, right? And we were saying that, I mean, with all of the increases in the cost of living, the energy prices were going through there, money was tight. And we were all thinking, well, nobody's buying knives. I mean, when Ben was on the show and we were worried about January's release of the knife and all of that, it was the low drag jack and everything, wasn't it? Yeah. And we were worrying about, where are we going to get the money for the next knife? And all of a sudden, I'm 3 knives in, and January's hardly even started. Yeah. Then February comes along and we're going, we're going to have to tighten the belt a wee bit and sort of ease back a wee bit. You promised me that you wouldn't be buying another knife until March.
I know I'm a liar.
Well, I know that you're a big fat liar as well. Excuse me. So it's one of those things that we keep on promising ourselves, but then we see these things on forums and on the knife sales channels and everything else, and they're really just things that are just too good to let go.
Yeah, I think that's that's with the economy. The bigger, higher prices now is dropping price because they're going to compete with what people are. Right. People drop their shopping budget so that they come down on what they're going to spend. So the only way the higher products is get close to it is by dropping their price.
That's exactly. And also it's especially in the knife communities, it's a case of because everybody wants to buy a new knife. Everybody then starts thinking about selling off one or two or trading off as you do.
I've done an awful lot in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Trading. And that's where I keep my sanity under check because my budget each month doesn't go up for knives. It stays much the same. I have, I like to spend no more than about 100, 150 a month. But if I want anything else, it's trading time.
Yeah. Something has to go.
Yeah, something has to go.
Yeah,
and it's funny. It's a topic that I feel very passionate about. And I don't know about the people in the audience here, in the comments. I've always said through my channel is, as long as you're not taking the bread off your table at home, it's okay. It's when you go to that point where you're spending way more that your wife is losing out a new pair of shoes. There's not as much new products being bought. That's when the problem starts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, but it's always nice to be able to control your spending. As a knife collector, I find that hard to control my spending
because the spending. I think is probably the only thing that keeps us in check because there's a limit to how much you can spend without crossing those lines that you're talking about. But the urge.
Oh, jeez. The urge is real.
I've stopped reading books. I've stopped watching TV. Yeah. I find myself on the knife forums going or watching something on YouTube and saying, "Oh, I must get that one."
Yeah.
It's madness. I
It's
tell you.
completely addictive. And that's why when I first started having the channel, and that's the other thing about having the channel. It's all well and good having a channel, but you have to get so disciplined because it's so easy to chase everything so that you're putting the newest thing on your channel.
Yeah.
Because you get the most, the most subs, and you get the most, because if you get that first one out there, it's popular. So I had years of doing that. And even though I was only buying budget or mid-priced ones, it's still expensive to buy budget and mid when you're buying them in the quantity that you would need for
Yeah.
a channel.
30, 40, 50 pounds a pop adds up.
Yeah, really does. And I think I got more out of control when I was doing that than I am now. I think I've got to the stage now where I've sold off a lot of my collection. So what I've got left is mostly a lot of half-decent knives. And if I want to trade for something else, I just find it easier now. I couldn't in the beginning give knives away, or not give knives away, but I couldn't let knives go. I just wanted to keep them all because, I'll need them for the channel. Once a knife's been on the channel and it's been on about a month on and off, nobody wants to see that knife anymore. It's gone.
That's very true.
But the difference, and when I went back to slip joints, that is the difference, because slip joint collectors like to have their knives, but they do interchange them just to keep it a wee bit fresh. Even those that don't have a channel, like the interchange and upgrade, as you call it in your head, upgrade, but you're actually adding money to something you're giving away for it. So I mean, where's the upgrade? But I mean,
hey, it's whatever you say. It's whatever logic you use to sell it to yourself as much as anything else. And I like the way that you do the trading side of things. I think my collection's at a point now where I've actually got some knives that I can trade.
Yeah.
And I'm in a position to, but it's crossing that line to, well, it's not even crossing the line, it's the letting go, because they are, you do get attached to them, even though you may not have picked them up and I hesitate to use the word fondled them, but played with them for a while. It's
still there. And as soon as you pick them up, it becomes all of a sudden attractive again. I could sit here and think, right, what have I got to trade? And I'll look through it all. And then I'll pick one. And as soon as I put this little set of pegs on it, it becomes attractive again. I go, oh no, I can't do that one. And that's the nightmare of it. And I do that constantly.
Yeah, and the sort of the extension of that is what you found about the 71 that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Is you suddenly realize that when you traded away last year, I want that back again.
Yeah.
You know?
And we were talking beforehand. I've actually bought an order. Well, I'll not have it the next week, but I've got another 71 coming. This is the bull nose, and I have the green one coming. But I traded it last year because I needed something else, and it just went with part of the trade, so that I didn't have to spend so much money. And that's what happened. If you remember, about a year ago, I was up to 25, 26 GECs. Right. So last year I brought it down to 15. It's now coming up to 17 again. So in the last, it's come up to 17. And I'll hopefully have ones that are.
There's two I know
that you're going to let go. So that's the sort of thing. But everything you have to say with a loose tongue, because it's so difficult to stick with it and keep in that check. But again, I'm pretty lucky that. You see, I'm not like a lot of these people out here. I hear them saying, oh, I sneaked it past my wife, or I done this here. I have no chance. I'm retired. The woman lives with me. We have a shared bank account. I don't have a separate bank account. So the only money I get that I don't even hide it from her, I'm really thick, is my AdSense I get every month, which is about 70 to 100 quid. And that goes for knives. And then a couple of pounds out of my pension I add on top of that if I want to buy something. Now, Sally's absolutely brilliant, but I know that after living with somebody 25 years, you get to know how far you can push that person.
Oh, yes.
And that's worse than an army. I'd rather go and fight the Iraqis than attack my wife.
And you see, and you say that you're an old fool, but you're not. You have learned wisdom over the years. That is the course of wisdom.
Yeah, there is a wee limit to the pounds, because you'll always say, because if I haven't got the money directly, like I hadn't the other day, I bought a knife at £70, hadn't got it. I said, Sally, can I have £70 out of the caravan money? I'll put it back in by the end of the month. Yeah, no problem. And then I got one today, and if they add a bit of money to it, I traded one, so if they add a bit of money to it, I wouldn't even think of going in to ask her, but I know that I could get to that 100 and she wouldn't bother because she knows I'll pay that back. That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But I don't push over that. That definitely don't.
No, it's it's if you cross the line. I'm still working on the principle that I seem to be.
Oh, there's somebody.
Click on show there. I still to be. I'm trying to sneak them past Jane at this stage, and I'm successful sometimes, but the rest of the good thing is that we have a sort of what do we call it? We
Slush fund?
No, it's not the money side of things. It's we each have our own particular habits.
Right.
She's a mad gardener. And so every time I turn around, there's a new package full of seeds or plants or I don't know, sticks that are actually raspberry canes or something like that. You know, I don't know what it is, but she's just as bad for buying stuff for the garden and her allotment as I am for the knife. So we both have a sort of mutual tolerance for these things going through. Mikey's just saying 22 Swiss Army knives and 10 twisted as. Ooh, 10 twisted and ginsies. Nice.
You see, there's another thing with the hobby that everybody's different, and there's no way to run a hobby. I mean, everybody does it their own way. But like some people would have 10 ginsies, or like Pete when he's on, he'll get a run of Rough Rider or Case or GEC. You'll get a run of the same knife but different colors or handle scales, whatever. It's all. But he can buy 10 of them. I just don't do it. Once I've got one of them, I move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And I think that helps because if I had to buy 10 of everything I bought in the last 3 months, I'd be in a tent.
Yeah.
I'd just be gone.
Well, let's address that one because that comes back to the original question, which was how many have you bought and or what have you bought in the last 3 months? Okay. Mm-hmm. Because as with who was that? Was it Mikey? Was saying about he's got 22 Swiss Army knives. Come talk to me when you're over 60, Mikey. Come talk to me when you're over 60.
How many has he got?
He's got 22. Swiss
I don't
Armies.
even collect them, and I've got more than that.
Hey, well, there you go.
I went mad last year in the space of 3 months. Got about 40.
All we can say, Mikey, is it's a good start. Actually, what we should be saying is stop before it's too late, son. Stop before it's too late.
I mean, Paul Boogle there is saying, what's the story? We're talking about trying to control your knife budget or your knife collecting, that you don't sort of affect the family or how you keep check off it. Mine is simply, I do an awful lot of trading now where I didn't before. Justin hasn't found that balance yet. He's just buying.
So I'm looking for advice here, people. This is like a therapy session for me, an intervention, if you will.
Yeah. Anybody down below, have you got a fail-safe method for not spending too much on knives? Here's another fellow that's there he is, the budget guy, 60 for Case, 22 for Rough Riders. See if just it's nice to see you in here. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, that's a very mild hobby.
Yeah.
What was that there? I had one for 2 years and the other got 22.
Yeah, Mikey, you're our kind of people. So it's all in the last 3 months. What's Ryan saying there?
I'll put him up. Put Ryan up.
Ryan's comment is,
can you read that?
I think the reason for this is some people's brain favor functionality and others favor the aesthetics. Yeah. Ryan likes to have different types as opposed to just the same knife with different colors.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we can talk to that because, okay, so this year started weird for me. Stephen had brought me down and dragged me down the slip joint and other kind of away from the Swiss Army knives kind of thing for nearly a good part of a year. And for some reason, my Swiss Army knife affliction, I think I'll call it, hit me again just after Christmas. Okay. And what I ended up doing, I think it started with this one. Okay. I saw this one for sale, which is, again, Alox Cadet 2018 special edition. Okay. Anybody who knows about Swiss Army knives will know what we're talking about here. The Alox Cadet in that berry red, absolutely gorgeous for an unbeatable price. And I
That's the other thing you have to do is stop saying they're unbeatable prices.
Yeah. It's always an unbeatable price, and you'll never see them at these prices again. And then all of a sudden, I saw Dan, our good friend of Bladebridge, found this one. Now, Dan never gets a hold of Alox. And this is another special edition from 2012. You'll notice there's no key ring on this one, as there is on this one. Oops.
That makes a big difference.
Makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Huge difference. Shut up. Shut up. It's completely different now.
Oh, I sound so like you.
So beautiful, beautiful blue. I'm a sucker for Alox at the best of times. So I thought, oh, great. That's my cadet collection. I've now got 4 of them. I've got 3 of them and brilliant. And then along comes this one. Oh, sorry. Where am I? Flip me. Completely confused. Along comes this one. And this is just a red cadet, a little bit worn, which was another good price that I saw, and I just couldn't resist it. This one, so that's 3 cadets in the space of 2 months. Do I need 3 cadets? Probably not, but I couldn't resist it, and they're not going anywhere. Right, that was just the tip of the iceberg, because after that, to feed the further Alox obsession, I'm going to leave it off here because I want to see what Stephen then has to admit to. I got these 2. Okay, now. The one on the left, the yellow one, the electric yellow one, is the special edition Pioneer X for this year, and the blue one is a Farmer X that I got off can't remember his name off the top of my head, off the forum of one of the Facebook sales pages just today. It arrived,
right? And
the Farmer X is a beautiful one. It's a really heavy weighted knife, but it's got the saw as well as the scissors and main blade and everything. 2 gorgeous knives. And I'm a sucker for Alox. That is a small fortune in knives. All Alox, which contributes to my Alox collection and my and revitalized my Swiss Army knife affliction as we're.
But you had let it go for a while, because you were when I met you, you were just Swiss Army knife was all that was in your head. All right, you had a couple of other knives, but Swiss Army was your main thing. You have. The last 3 or 4 months had such a turnaround, and you're buying knives that you never thought you would have bought.
Absolutely.
And enjoying that side of the hobby, which is great, you know. And it will come to a balance where you will sort of buy one of your newer loves, one of your Swiss Army. And I think but it takes time, because you get excited when you see something and like Ashley Harrison, when I introduced you to him, you went buck daft.
I did. 3 in 3 months.
But no more different than you've done with your Alex. You've just done the same with your Alex again, because you got that wee buzz again.
Yeah, but Stephen, it's fine when it's 1 at a time. When it's 5 in one go.
What am I doing here? There's another one.
Yeah.
Just trying to highlight something. I'm blaming you guys for your slip joint addiction.
That's Mikey.
It started with Paddy's YouTube channel. Mikey, you're banned. Off the channel. Just turn it off. Go home. That's it.
It's the best thing for you. It's for your own good.
This channel is run on no blame. If you haven't got a solution, it's your own fault.
And by the way, Mikey, I'm putting together a support group called Survivors of Paddy's Potato Peters, for all those people who were sucked in by this channel into collecting knives uncontrollably.
Mikey is speaking facts. Don't you stick with him, Matt. Get away off. Just turn off and go away. But I mean, he said to me, well, how many knives you bought in the last week? I said, well, I haven't bought that many, not as many as you. Yeah. And I actually really, really meant it. Considering December, January, and February, I wasn't going to buy knives. I was going to cut back, make do with what I'd got, do reviews on just other knives that I've had for a while, and do comparisons, more of them sort of videos, which I love doing, by the way. I hope you do. But then I started to pull the knives out that I've had in the last 3 months and scared the living daylights out of myself, because, you know, there's a lot of money sitting in front of me here. But
talk us through them.
The variety has been nice.
I think you're right. Yeah.
The variety I've got, I mean, starting from this little beauty, this little friction folder, I just adore that little friction folder. Isn't that just beautiful? It is stunning. It's just like a small real knife.
A small real knife.
But that's the way I talk to myself in my head. It really just looks, if this was a larger knife, of which there is one, and I've yet to get it, but it's only a 2.5 fingers, but incredibly comfortable. And with that long sort of tang that you have here, you getting your full thumb on it. You couldn't close that if you tried. It's just a beautiful little knife.
I was asking, is that the crew?
Is it what?
Is that
The crew, yeah, that's the crew. Beautiful little knife. And then I went into a wee run on fixed blades. This was the QSP Duck Muck, because it looks like a duck.
It's the cutest knife.
It really is the cutest. But it's actually a really D2. I have to put my finger around the back of the duck's, or on the top of the duck's bill, I should say, and I get a really secure grip. Lovely little work knife. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend this. But I mean, these are not expensive. Well, they're not. I don't call them expensive, but I mean, still, that was about £60, I think. Do you know what I mean? So, but you add all these up.
But what that is interesting about that was that was like again, like my sax. It was a callback to your fixed blade.
Yeah,
thing, because you hadn't bought a fixed blade in a while.
Long time, and I've just been starting to carry a small fixed blade in my pocket again. Oh, there we go. This is just
I love that.
Yeah,
one.
This is just a wee LT right, tiny little blade, about 2¼ inches long, but it's beautiful. I got this beautiful slip made for me by HSEDC over here in the UK, if there's any Americans. So, but he makes this slip, but he also puts another leather patch in the back, and I just think that makes such a great little pocket dropper.
It's a pairing.
It's
a beautiful pairing.
It was actually in the EDC today. Well, the EDC picture I put on Facebook, it didn't come anywhere near my pocket. Does anybody else cheat with Facebook? Because I do most days.
There's Byron in.
Byron, how you doing, boy?
Yeah, Mikey's just saying that, of course, not that he's apportioning blame in any sort of way, because I hope he's learned his lesson, but he is saying that he'll probably be getting into fiction folders after this. Mikey, you got to leave that sort of impressionability behind you. Otherwise, you're in a world of hurt.
And I'm starting to look at more. I've actually joined a friction folder group. So I'm starting to look at friction folders.
What's the point?
I probably will get a bigger one of this made by the same person, but it's a bit pricey yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Knives. They're not a knife. The friction folders are not one that I've actually probably because I'm afraid to as much as anything else, but I don't quite understand them. You know what I mean?
There you are. Do you want to understand one? Put that in your hand. Try to close it.
Okay.
It's scary how simple that is. And what a lovely little knife to have in your pocket.
It's a beautiful little knife.
I mean, that's going to do all my day's work. I keep saying to people, I need about
it. Doesn't feel right.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look right or feel right. But when I put that wee knife in my hand, now, maybe they all don't feel as good as that, but that is just such a lovely. I mean, I have more chance of cutting myself in a GEC than I have with that. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking of GECs. This is another one that I just recently got, which is the bunny knife. I didn't buy it immediately it came out because I didn't like this big bunny knife rut up the blade of it. And I was going to rub it off. And I thought, do you want to? No, I'll not. I'll just use this. And if it comes off, if I start putting it into meat and things like that, I'll just then take it off before the patina gets on it. But this is a beautiful little 2-bladed knife. I just love the shape of it. It's a very simplistic knife, but made in GEC's inimitable way. It's just lovely in the hand.
There's a beauty now.
The walk and talk.
Was that January as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was January. Yeah, because it came out last year, but I didn't buy it last year. But it's lovely, and it's in a lovely wood. Not Cocobolo. What do you call the other one? Ebony.
Ebony.
It's in beautiful ebony wood, which I just adore. Some of this more.
I'm not sure I can, Mikey. I'm not sure I can.
And then I bought this, the QSB
Hedgehog.
Oh,
that was a cracking one.
Did I buy this or got this given to me?
I think it was sent to you.
This was sent to me, sorry, from QSB. But another absolutely super knife. And Mr. Fermanaman, that's a real knife that you could use. There's a big grip, you can get 2 hands on it. I bought one of the best budget knives. Look at that. That is a beautiful micarta handles. Just a stunning big work knife. Look at that action.
As a Kaiser T1, is it?
Yeah, Kaiser T1. Again, about that £50, £60. What a fun! You don't need another knife. You know,
1, 2, 3, 4. So we're 5 knives in, people.
Yeah.
If anybody's keeping tabs on
and
this.
I also updated my K-bar dozier and got the D2 version because I gave my Oz 8 version to the campsite owner where my caravan is. He showed me his and I took it off him and I said, give me that. I went into the caravan and came out with another one. It was exactly how a knife should be. I just really would love to show you it if I can get it here.
Yeah,
I have it in here somewhere. Where have I?
but has anybody else noticed? And that's a half a dozen knives. I just showed you 5. So,
You're trying to make yourself better.
No, yeah, well, yes. I mean, misery loves company, and I like to know that I am amongst like-minded people, and that I am not completely crazy. Although, just because I've got company beside me doesn't mean that there is a possibility that we're both nuts.
But here's the thing about you. We're talking about knives, and everybody knows this, but the owner of my caravan park is a working man. He's in digging holes. He's just put in, about 29 new caravan bays, pipe work, electrics, the whole lot. He's worth a fortune. Look what he used as his knife. That was the knife that he said, would you put an edge on it? I said, no, give it to me. Went in and gave him my nice new one. And he was so
look like a dozier anymore.
It doesn't. It is, but he's sharpened it up the curves everywhere. It's just, that's what he was using, and he's worth a fortune. And why do we buy knives? Look at that, and I have no idea. What did I do before I liked knives? I have nothing to say, because that's done him for, I think he said he had 7 years or something.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
They will. I mean, they will. I mean, that's
that was an Oz 8 too. It wasn't even the D2, but I had the upgrade because it was there. One that I recently just bought and I absolutely love was the Old Timer Bruin, and it's wood. It's like a laminate wood. We lock back. Really enjoying we lockbacks at the minute. That's another avenue I'm going to go down.
Well, speaking of lockbacks as well, because this was another purchase, and again, this was another rabbit hole I went down. Was my Spidey rabbit hole, because I got the Chaparral in the Raffier scales. I mean, it's a lockback. It's a perfect size for me, if not for everybody.
Perfect, yeah. You get full 4 fingers no matter what size your hand is.
And I love this knife. Love this knife to bits.
So you wouldn't really have needed another one after you got that?
No, I wouldn't have.
But you managed to.
Well, it was. What it's not. It's not Magnicut. What is it?
It's Maximate.
Maximate. Thank you.
Because Justin needs Maximate in his life.
Yeah, I need Maximate on a Sage 1. There you go. I need a steel that I can't sharpen and that I will never blunt. That I will never use this knife enough to actually do it justice. It is an absolutely glorious knife.
Lovely.
It really is a beauty. And the only thing I would say about it, and I do need somebody to stop me, because I don't like the scales. The scales are too dull for me. So I was really tempted to do the whole Rit Dye thing on them. But I'm not sure
what
which
what Justin is saying as he turns his head lovingly towards me is, Paddy, will you Rit Dye this?
No, I'm going to do it myself. I've ordered the Rit Dye.
Oh, good lad.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the color, because I've ordered green, but I'm not sure if green will work on that.
Well, I would put green. I would look gopping.
Yeah, I'm starting to think
grey,
myself.
Green and grey. It's going to look really. It's going to look like the side of a ship.
The red?
I would definitely go red on it or the blue.
It's just I've got quite a bit of blue. I quite like the thought of the red, I have to say, though.
Yeah.
Might go red. Might go red.
It'll match your lovely. Yes. That's another knife you got too, isn't it?
No, not this one. But,
yes. Yes, he bought something else too.
Which Stephen has been.
I don't know a review on it there.
Reviewing, so.
This is the most gorgeous bone.
Look at that. That's my case back pocket. And I mean, if you've watched Stephen's review on this, I mean, look, Stephen and I had already talked about this, and he was actually worried about, criticizing it. It's a beautiful knife. There's no
doubt about it. It's a beautiful knife.
It's just, I'm not 100% sure it rocks my boat for me.
No, it's funny because we when me and Justin were talking about it, and talking of big knives, and I like a big knife every now and then, and a slip joint. This is another one. If you put that together, the difference between the case, the bone is just unbelievably nice. But if you look at the difference in the blade thickness, this is a kind of a blade that you want on a big knife like that.
Yeah.
That little blade to me just doesn't, it doesn't sit right. It looks as if it's too small coming out of the handle.
It's not deep enough.
Yeah. Whereas that's the same thickness as the collar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's amazing how, I mean, the amount of knives I've seen like that, because I went on YouTube as I do. When you get a new knife you look at, is anybody the same as me? It seems like some are exaggerating their addiction. Street cred. My 24 days. That's what.
Kelly, that's cruel.
Yeah, true. But
all you're doing is you're encouraging them to get even worse.
the steel is so outdated for the prices. Well, there you go, budget knife guy. This is in D2. This is the Heritage series. Now, I've got old timers, don't get me wrong. And I agree with this deal. It could be upgraded to 1095, I think. But when they do specials and you get D2, the Heritage series of old timers, this D2 seems to be really good too, I'll have to say. It seems to have been heat treated pretty well. Going on sharpening, which is just my feel. But I would really recommend this one. And apparently they do one without the lock as well. So yeah, if you want me to send you some pictures of knives that are beautiful, just ask.
Right, Matt. If you are smitten by that back pocket, I might have to give you first refusal on it if we're putting it up for trade. If Stephen doesn't take it, so
no.
But
it's lovely, but not for me. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Magna Cut buck. Oh, Mikey. Oh,
you guys send us photos of that.
Yeah, send us a photo and I can put it up next week. That Magna Cut buck looks beautiful. And I think there is a thing, buck. We always complain about these old companies not, upgrade, not coming.
A decent
Buck are making an effort this year.
Yeah, really.
They really are making an effort. They're upgrading maybe not upgrade. They're not upgrading to modern, that's for sure. But they're upgrading their steels. You're getting more of the S30V, which I think is a perfectly adequate steel for anybody.
Yeah.
For whatever job you do, it'll do you all day.
But doing that is actually going to bring more people into the buck. It's going to into the buck buyers market, because I mean the only thing that's keeping them from buying a buck, especially if they're on the American side of things, or even traditional collectors who just want a buck, are pausing or because the steel isn't. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the 420 with their
absolutely,
but it's still an older steel. It's still a dated steel, as we were saying earlier.
But do you not agree that I personally believe the only reason that we crave these super steels is through the people who are collecting these super steels. They collect them, and then once they've got this one, another one comes out, this one goes away, and the next one comes up. And then people are probably trading them knives off nicely because they're still popular. You and me come along a couple of months late and you end up buying all these knives and you're stuck with them because nobody wants them. They want the next steel.
Yeah. And it's a fashion thing.
It really is. We drive what steels are going to make.
Yeah.
If we're constantly asking them for, I want much better edge retention, or like Magna Cut. Got it right, didn't it?
You did.
Unless
you meant Maximum.
Like Magna Cut, which is not as hard as Maximum, but it has all the three properties that no knives has, like edge retention, toughness, stainless. I mean, to get them three in one knife that are at the top end of is next to impossible. It really has a place in the market. And you can say what you like. It is a beautiful steel, but do I need it? $10.95.
Yeah.
And I live happily. And my GEC is my little beautiful knife that lasts me every day. Yeah. But I still got the big steels because you get this urge in your head. I must follow. Yeah.
It is funny. I was watching Outdoor 55 is a knife maker. I watch every now and again. I enjoy his things, but he did one the other day, basically on super steels, because he, as a knife maker, he always it was M4 actually. I think he was working.
Oh, M4. Sorry, you're right. It was,
with M4. But he was saying that because he was a sort of craft or an artisan knife maker, he found it really difficult working with the super steels. But when he finally cracked it, I mean, even he was saying that, yes, super steels are super steels for a reason. The performance is just off the charts. Yeah. I mean, all the data and all the research is there to prove it. But your point is, do you need it? if you are out in the woods every day and you need
Yeah.
a knife that is going to last and last and
Or
last,
you're a joiner and you're constantly doing, you know.
if you need a knife that has a special purpose and is
Yeah.
going to take the hammering or the abuse that you're going
Uh-huh.
to give it, then absolutely. But do you need it other than just it's nice to have as a knife collector? It's nice to have.
But that is part of the hobby. Is
exactly so.
you don't need anything else than what you've got in your own collection, but you see it, you like it, you buy it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And there's nothing wrong with it. No matter what way you collect this, people tell you, go use your shit, do things like this. What is that for? I just don't get that. If I don't want to dirty my 500-pound knife, why do I have to do it to be a proper knife person?
You don't have to do it.
No.
But
I can't be a knife person.
No, I'm not sure that's what Erica meant.
Oh, it is. And I love Erica, but I mean, I got this one this year. That's expensive. I had to give money, a lot of money, and another lovely knife to get this. Do I regret getting it? Not one bit.
I regret him getting it because he hasn't shut up about it.
I honestly, I fiddled with this more than any other knife this year or last year or the year before. It's just stunning. I love it. And then I had to go buck mad and get, because I'd got the fancy one, I went and got the bear,
the tactile
turn, which is just such a super little knife.
That one, I think that's fantastic because it is such. See, that is such a pocket-friendly knife. Look at the thinness on that.
But isn't it really comfortable?
Yeah,
there's no hard edges, even
absolutely.
In between. You can't catch
it's
your finger.
Beautifully turned. It really is.
But you know, like most knives in there, you can put your finger.
Yeah,
you can't.
I mean, you look at a cadet, which is it's a nice shape. You've got more edges on a cadet now. Admittedly, that's because it's multi-bladed than you do on this.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm really glad I got that.
They're very, I mean, it's thinner than a cadet.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
And it's in Magna Cut, which will last me longer than I'll ever need.
Absolutely.
Right. Have I got anybody else there?
We've got some comments here. So let's go to the comments, Stephen.
Uh-huh.
There's Lee, who's trying to make me feel a wee bit better. He's got a Evolution Grip, Cyber Tool Light, Cadet Alex, Bantam Alex, Farmer X, Swiss Army. All this monthly. I feel so much better. Thank you. I'm really glad that there is somebody out there who's worse than me. Can I get some kind of sort of referral to show my wife, please, that I'm not the worst, please?
We should actually work up a doctor. We should bring a doctor into the community who can get us sign us off as medically incompetent to have money.
Yeah, I think that would get us all into trouble. There's Byron giving us some of the benefit of his wisdom there in terms of what Buck's doing with upgrading their steels and putting out both traditional and modern designs, and even modernizing some of their traditional designs.
Yeah, I think they're on the way to a really bright future again, Buck.
Ooh, very nice. The knife of the month is a beautiful all black flipper slot model.
Oh, right.
And Bucks. Ooh. Have they ever done a flipper before?
I've no idea. I've never been a Buck man. I've got, how many Bucks have I got?
Well, you've got the one. Well, did you have the 112?
No. I had a Buck 110. I sold it last year. I had a Buck 55.
That you gave me.
Gave you. And I think I had other Bucks, but I traded them all when I was doing my cull.
Yeah. And then we have Bo. It's always a pleasure to see somebody who's a Ganzo fan. And 440C will keep you going all day. I agree.
Yeah. Bo, I was a Ganzo absolute toy boy. No, I'm not a toy boy. Fanboy. Not a toy boy, a fanboy. Ganzo. And I still have Ganzos in there now. And I love my Ganzos. They are just such a good knife. And quality that just for 20 odd pound now, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't go far wrong.
But it's not enough to satisfy. Even I know when I started and I thought, like most of us, when I started, I wasn't going to spend any more than the thought of spending £50 on a knife was abhorrent to me. And I mean abhorrent. I'll never spend that. I'll stick with my Ganzos and my San Remus 6 months. And then you start looking.
Yeah, I know. And I've got some beautiful Ganzos and some the 727 small, which is
Yes,
the
I've got it now.
size, yeah.
There again, we done a swap for Ganzo's. I swapped and got his wee Ganzo, the D2, the R2D2.
Yeah.
But
And I got the Penguin off you, I think,
that's
which
right,
is a
a
cracking
Penguin,
knife
yeah.
as well, the QSP Penguin. That was lovely. But I've got some San Remo that I love. The San Remo built Land 910 and 810 or 820. I've got in titanium, which is a cracking knife. But it's just modeled off the Sabenza, but it's about as much as as close as I'll ever get to a Sabenza, except sitting in his house. But it's fantastic.
But I said that as well. I mean, my biggest thing was getting a D2 knife. I can remember the excitement when I got my first D2 knife.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I had a very low budget when I started. And it was, well, I remember getting my first D2 knife. I remember getting my first S30V knife, which was my Benjamin 940 that Jeff sent me. I remember getting my first M390 knife. I had all these firsts.
Big miles
that I thought I was never going to get to. And I was sure when I got that one, I have no higher. I don't need any more than this.
They keep on coming, though, don't they?
Yeah. It's a joy as long as you're in control of it.
Yeah.
And all right, it's loose control, but as long as it's not affecting anybody else, then you're all right.
Absolutely.
And that is the thing. And I know you're not a British shilling, but
well, you say that. You say that, and then of course I go and do that I go and get a wee Elementum and in titanium, and I don't know why. I just like the Elementum, and I needed to treat myself. Now I'm going to get a wee bit serious.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get a wee bit serious because this was a treat, and this is what I call being a brave boy treat. Okay, so I'm going to keep this as light as possible, guys. November last year, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Okay, and I've just been through treatment for it. So I went through brachytherapy for it, which involves the use of irradiated titanium. So I thought, why not buy the matching knife? It made perfect sense to me.
I hope that hasn't been anywhere near there.
And all I can say is it was a good excuse because my wife let me get away with it because I'd been a brave boy. Okay, so that's all I want to say about that is our demographic, as we know, is probably men of a certain age. So all I can say to you, and I mean it from the heart, is from my experiences, if you're around our age, and which is, well, Stephen's into his 60s, I'm well into my 50s and coming up on 60, is get yourself checked if you haven't been checked, and go see your doctor just to go through the process, because honestly, you catch it early enough and you've got decades of life ahead of you. I caught it early. I get to live the rest of my life with my family and loved ones. I know some people aren't lucky enough to do it. That's all I'm saying about that. Thank you very much for letting me share. So go do what you need to do.
I am really glad you done that, because do you want to know something? He was braver man than probably I was, because he told me about it. And a lot of people wouldn't even do it because, we haven't been lifelong friends or whatever. And he shared with me, and it was probably one of the most, outside of alcohol, but I'm an alcoholic, outside of that, for somebody to share that important part of your life, it's such a privilege to be chosen to do that. I felt emotional about you sharing, not emotional about your nether regions. I didn't think about them. I thought, no, I nearly got a wooden overcoat anyway. It's not happening. But to share it and to share it out there, it's been very important for you. I wanted to do it, and to be honest, I haven't been too good, and you've kept that away. So I am, and maybe if anybody's interested in talking about man problems night, have a man problems night. And I don't mean that to sort of, we'll talk about knives, but we'll also talk about things that we've gone through.
Yeah.
I've gone through alcoholism. I've gone through my son committing suicide. So there's lots of, and I haven't gone through cancer here. I mean, there's lots that we can help other people if people want help. So let us know in the description. Would you like a man's night where we do talk about knives and then talk about other things as well?
Yeah.
So, and if anybody, whether it's 2 people or 3 people, I don't care. If the 3 people want to do it, I'm quite happy doing it. Because if one person gets something from it and being brave enough to share it, that's fantastic.
Absolutely. And thanks for sharing in the comments there, guys. It's really reassuring to me that we're hitting a note. And look, if I don't want to offend anybody. My way of dealing with this whole thing was keep it pragmatic and keep it light.
Yeah.
And just apply my sense of humor to it. It's my way of getting through it. I know different people will handle it in different ways. I don't mean any insult that way. So it's just my approach to these things.
And this is what I love. There's a crispy critter, positive vibe sent. I mean, that's very underrated, because I know when I get them, I know all people don't pray. I'm lucky enough that I can just get down the knee and pray. That doesn't bother me. But just sending somebody positive vibes is every bit as nice to know people are looking out for you. So you're a friend of Bill and Bob, yeah. 34 years I've known the buggers, still haven't let me have a drink. So
right,
yes,
moving swiftly on.
Yes, move on. Then.
Moving swiftly on.
How long have we? Oh, we've got another 10 minutes.
No.
We've got another 10 minutes. Have you got any questions?
But this is the one I wanted to show you, because I haven't finished yet. I haven't finished. Right. No.
Oh.
No. We may need to turn the lights off for this.
Oh, is that one of them?
This is a glow in the dark job. And I'm not sure if this is going to work on camera, guys.
Oh, sorry. Do you want that on?
Yeah, no, it should do the job. It should be fine. Right. What we're going to do.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Can you hit the main one, Stephen? And then we'll
Oh, blooming heck.
Go for it. That's it. I'll do it. And kill the main one. And we'll see if this works. Oh, no, we can't off the screen, of course. Anywho, this... Nah, it's not going to work, Stephen. Okay. It was worth a try. It's just a climber. And it is a fantastic climber. And it's one of Dan's from Blade Bridge's specials. He had it going on sale, and this was going for a song. Again, it's another one of those an incredible price that I couldn't walk past.
I have no idea what I'm doing here. Can you tell?
And we're nearly there.
Oh,
we're getting all the colors of the rainbow.
I can't read the blooming thing.
Where are we?
Can you see how technically challenged I am?
Oh, there we go.
That's it.
There we go. Okay. And they're Kernite scales, but they're glow in the dark. And I swear to God, they are the most glow in the dark things. I honestly, my son's a chemist. He's doing chemistry in university. I'm going to get him to bring a Geiger counter home so they can check this out, because I'm half convinced there's more radiation coming off this thing than there is coming off my prostate at the minute. So there you go. Well,
that's super.
That's the last of my knives. Is that everything that you do?
Do you know what I got? I got another thing that I bought because everybody else had one, and I was starting to feel left out. I bought a Knipex.
It's funny you should say that.
And I have this. You
show me yours now. Show you mine.
I had this lovely little torch pouch that I had here, leather pouch for a torch, and the Knipex just fit in. This is only the wee 5-inch ones.
Oh, they're not wee.
And I absolutely love them. And do you know what I'm going to use them for a lot this year? Is when I'm camping, for lifting stuff off the fire. They're so much more easy to get a good grip on.
Let me see them.
Right.
Let me see them. They're not wee.
They're 5 inches.
I'll take those 5 inches. They're a proper pair of mini Knipex.
I think they're the same size.
No,
oh, they're not? Good gosh. Yeah. Oh, wow. I thought my wee 5-inch ones were small, but they are definitely. How dinky is that?
Are they cool?
Yeah, they are.
I love my Knipex.
I don't need any more Knipex. I don't need any more Knipex. I don't need any more Knipex.
And thus it begins.
So, I mean, that's bought on not peer pressure, but just watching people using them, because I've got 2 Leathermans. What the hell do I need these for in reality? Exactly. But yet, I love them. So,
it's funny, actually, because I bought those ones to save me carrying a Leatherman around. So
yeah,
you have a knife and a really ultra light set of pliers as well if you need them. Now, to be honest, will I ever use them out and about? Not in my job, no, but, probably. That's nice to
but even if you go to a daughter's house or a somebody's house, but because I'm carrying a Swiss Army knife more, I've got the other tools like the scissors and a blade and whatever in the Swiss Army knife. I don't have the pliers.
Yeah.
And rather than carrying that big Leatherman that makes me walk around in circles because it's so heavy. No, it's not. But this seemed to be a good reason to buy this, to get me out of the circle.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bo's just saying he did from a craftsman, a master craftsman. Yeah, you can't do better than Knipex.
I'd never heard of them before until I went on to YouTube, and I heard, a lot of electricians like RJ's Knives. He has had them for years. Screwdrivers, bits, a whole lot. So yeah, it's really nice. Any other questions before we pop off, guys? Tea break over, Byron. Get back at it, boy. There's knives to be bought. Take care, buddy. And thank you, everybody. If you're all starting to disappear off slowly but surely, we've only got about another 5 minutes. We'll try to keep it to that hour. It's long enough to keep us here. And I done a 2-hour one on Sunday night.
Oh, Randy bought the knockoff Harbor Freight one.
All right, yeah.
Randy, let us know how that one works off. It'd be interesting to see if I mean, they're not the cheapest in the world, but the quality is outstanding.
I have to say, yeah, I really do like it.
Yeah.
And especially down the caravan and getting behind the toilet and doing things, the bolts on the seat, they keep coming off.
I really don't want to know what you're doing behind toilets at the caravan. I really don't want to know.
Not the public toilets.
Oh, right. Sorry. Beg your pardon.
Well, look, I hope you've enjoyed the ramble. I've enjoyed you another week, pal.
Well, I think there's more chat left in us, and we're going to save that for next time. So I hope you enjoyed tonight, guys.
And we enjoy doing this when it's just the two of us as well. We have as much fun. There's Gizmo's in.
And Crispy.
Yeah, so next week we'll have a guest on. Again, I don't know who it's going to be yet.
Any volunteers, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, if you'd like to come on and have a chat and you haven't been on before, please do. That's you out, Matt. I'm giving you no more. But yeah, if you fancy coming on, you've never been on one before, look, it's like this. It's very relaxed. We'll get you through it. We can talk for 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. But yeah, I think I've got somebody in my head lined up. In fact, I know I have, but
excellent.
You'll always, if you put your name down, we'll get you on it sometime. There's no problem.
Right. That does.
Good night from you.
Good night from you.
Right, good night from us.
Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful hour. Take care. Bye now.